Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily stock market review for the trading day ending Thursday, March 26th. We're to the S&P 500 and here we see a continuation of the trend to the downside for today's trading. A candle that has made a lower high and a lower low, so a downtrend is still in place. So the sellers were certainly strong enough to take out the previous low. But if we look at the depth of the close away from the previous close, yes, the market has closed down. So what we're seeing is that the sellers are still keen, but the distance away from the close compared to the distance of the previous close away from the one prior to that certainly does suggest that the sellers are not as strong as they used to be. They aren't as keen as they were for the previous day's trading, and this is what was expected with yesterday being such an extreme day. And if you recall, I suggested that when we get these extreme days, we tend to see either the buyers come back into the market or we see a softening in the strength of the sellers in this case. We have seen the market close around the midpoint level, which suggests that neither the buyers nor the sellers have control. And with the formation of a small body candle, it all does suggest that there is an opportunity here for the buyers to now come into the market. And this is a very indecisive candle where we have the shadow on the top and on the bottom, so a lot of indecision in this market. And it's all about the trend being down and the sellers losing strength. So we'll be looking for a higher high and a higher low to confirm. Now, importantly, the top of the Ichimoku cloud has acted as support as expected, with the market failing to close through there, testing through there, but not being able to close there suggests once again that there is an opportunity here for the buyers. Now, if the buyers do come into the market, potential resistance at the top of this highlighted zone, with the Kijun-sen and Tenkan-sen acting around that area, roughly about 2079. So even if this trend does change to the upside, it may only last for a short amount of time, and we do need to reassess the market if it does approach that area and look at who is in control and who is a stronger party in that approach. In terms of the Fibonacci extension, and here we've seen the market testing down below that important 78.6% level, coincides roughly with that top of the cloud, and with this rejection away from there and the sellers unable to maintain control below there, and unable to close down below there showing any strength, it does suggest that there is a possibility of a change of trend. Now moving to the S&P 500 futures on the hourly charts, and here we see the market still maintaining price action down below the Ichimoku cloud, suggesting that we still have a negative bias in the longer term time frame and possibility of the market continuing to trade to lower levels. If we look at the current session as it's opened up above the midpoint level, and the market has been rallying through the Tenkan-sen indicator on this last candle, and a fairly bullish candle, and that suggests a possibility of the market testing to that first pivot point resistance level around 2060, 2061. As we move further into the next few hours, that pivot point level will actually meet the Ichimoku cloud, so there will be very strong resistance around that region, and then the cloud moves lower and will move between the first pivot point resistance level and the middle pivot point level. And it does suggest that if the buyers aren't strong enough to breach through these areas over the next couple of hours, they certainly could face some even stronger opposition to trading higher with the cloud moving lower. If we do see selling coming into the market, there is some good solid base for support down below around the middle pivot point level at 2047, and with the Kijun-sen trading at 2046, it does strengthen the support there. So we may see a market that has trouble making its mind up for the next session, but a breakout in either direction with some strong buying or strong selling behind it probably will be very important to the S&P 500 futures.